Three shots, four par, I just do two. One putt, par four, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par five, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into. Start right, good line, good view. It drew, shooter McGavin.
How long you guys been at it, Jason?
Yeah, so started in 2021. So a couple years now. It'll be 2 years in June.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about a
So
year and a half.
are you like, I know we're talking there, your background's not necessarily designing golf merch. Is it you on the design end?
Yeah, I do most of the design. Occasionally, a few things I will contract out, but
Yeah.
most of it's me, and I kind of just learned it all as I went. So I can kind of draw a little bit, but I learned a little bit about the digitizing everything and
Yeah.
making it online. So that's been a process, but it's coming along good, I think.
It's fascinating stuff, man. I got like a little Coach Rusty knockoff behind me here. Like I like to make some of, like, I made this one on my own. Which way is it? It's this way. So it's just like, art's cool, man. And I think like designing things is incredibly difficult though. It's not something that a lot of people have like an eye for or talent for. And like when we were saying, like, you guys have some of the coolest looking gear out there, in my opinion. Like it's just kind of like something that catches my eye. It's sort of minimalist, but I don't know, kind of like, I don't want to say quirky. It's kind of eccentric a little bit. It's cool, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, it's I don't want to be too out there. I kind of like the calm, a little bit calmer, but a little edgy at the same time, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So
Yeah, just trying to kind of find a balance in there somewhere, I guess,
yeah.
right?
I do like that painting though, man. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
this thing's it's pretty cool, man. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like, it's, if you're on YouTube, you might see some of it. And I posted, like, I think I posted a photo of this one. I did a green jacket too for the Masters, which was pretty cool. So it's all
Awesome.
done with a golf club, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen
So
the stuff from Coach Rusty on there
yeah,
too. So
he's
that's
a
cool.
hell of a lot better at it than I am, but it kind of
Yeah.
I don't know, it definitely inspired me, and he liked a couple of them and said it was pretty cool. So it's neat, man. It's definitely cool, and you get like those creative juices flowing. Have you always been like a creative guy, Jason? Is it always something that you wanted to like do an apparel brand? Can you kind of maybe give us the story of how Static started up?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've always liked the fashion side of things and apparel, and always had a little bit of a creative side. I never really used it. Uh, didn't really have the passion. I was kind of into like punk rock and skateboarding when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, me too,
So
man. I was like BMX for a long time, playing golf in the summers, and then when I'm done at the course, going and grabbing the BMX bike. It just didn't work, but it was well, it worked. It worked. It was different though. It was different.
yeah, I have no talent of doing any of it, but definitely was like I like the culture and the vibe that they had. So that's kind of where a lot of my inspiration probably comes from. And then probably 10, 15 years ago, start playing golf. That became an obsession. As you know, when you start playing, it's just an
Yeah.
addiction. I mean, it's the perfect drug is what it is.
Yeah.
And so I just combined those two and had the love child of static golf.
I
So
love it, man. Why the name Static, if you don't mind me asking?
yeah, so it's kind of just a play on words. It's lacking in movement of like an unattractive way is basically what static means. So
Okay.
I just was playing on words, like the golf apparel back when I grew up was very bland and plain. Nowadays, obviously, it's grown tremendously and there's tons of cool brands, but I just kind of a play on words, don't let it get static, keep moving forward,
Yeah. I like that.
you know.
Is there was it like inspired by any brands? Like you said that you were into like a bit of a fashion like you like fashion yourself, like I'm getting a little older. I'm a dad now, but I consider myself still a pretty fashionable guy.
Yeah.
I like to check out some new brands and wear some colors and stuff like that. I got like I don't know if you know Custom Clubs, but down in
Mm-hmm.
Riverside, California. So I got one of his hats on right now. It's got a nice color to it. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Is there anything that like any brands that you were trying to like, that caught your eye that you wanted to, base a company off of? Or was there anything like where you were just like, all right, I'm sick of seeing like the same polos and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, in the golf space, I mean, there's so many cool brands, but I've always really been a big fan of what Birds of Condor is doing. They
Yeah.
got some cool stuff, man, for sure.
I got one of their visors right there. You can't see it, but it's off
Yeah,
camera. But it just like
that's
says
awesome.
golf right across the top of the visor. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, they make some really cool stuff, and I
Yeah.
like their style a lot. I think Rodri is really cool. There's just a bunch of brands like that, and then
Yeah.
you know the whole. I like Vans and just that whole brand apparel too. So
Yeah, definitely. Static definitely gives me that like Vans kind of off the wall vibe, and like, you know, some streetwear and you know
yeah,
a little bit of a crossover, which I like. Mac here for Manscaped. Spring has sprung, and the global leaders in below the waist grooming have the best tools for cleaning aisle 5 in your pants. The start of spring also marks the start of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month in April. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as part of their We Save Balls initiative. Head over to manscaped.com. You'll get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code OTSGolf. Manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code OTSGolf. It sounds like it might have been like a pandemic, like a passion project, sort of, that got it going.
yeah. Throughout the pandemic, you know, I always thought about doing it and didn't really do it. I started right at kind of towards the end of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you know, and I talked about it the whole time, and you know, being stuck at home and stuff. My wife got tired of hearing about it. She's like, just do it, you know. And so she just pushed me, and I started doing it. You know, started making some designs behind the scenes, started working on a website, and all that stuff. And it just kind of grew from there.
So, Jason, what was it like when you you said you do a little bit of drawing? Is that how you kind of like, you know, built the first couple items, like through drawing, sketching? Were you using any programs or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually use free program Inkscape to do most of my design work. I do, you know, I draw something, and I just put it on there and kind of trace it out, vectorize it. But yeah, you know, I'll sketch. I'm not a good freehand drawer, but I can get a nice basic shape and then kind of get it to come together and look nice. So,
That's kind of how I feel, man, when I do like when I'm trying to like sketch something or draw something. It looks to me, it kind of looks terrible. If you throw like some paint, some graphic on, or some color and stuff, then it sort of comes together. It's like I don't know, your image that you had sort of comes together, and that's like kind of how these things work here and behind me. But yeah, it's hard, man, and it's, you know, did you find it like? Do you consider yourself like an artist at all?
I don't necessarily consider myself an artist. I mean, there's so many people that are way better than me.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
every day.
I do. Looking
Well,
at
I
this,
appreciate it.
man, like this brand, like this stuff is so cool. I think it's yeah, I think it's like you got to consider yourself an artist, and once you like put yourself out there, like yeah, it's
Well, I do appreciate that, but like I said, man, there's so much stuff that you see, and you're just like, man, I wish I had that talent. But I'm working on it, and you know,
Yeah.
growing every day. So that's all you can do. And you know,
So-
I've definitely came a long way from my first designs to now. So
yeah. What was the first one that you put together?
I don't know if you've seen it on the side. Banana Ball was the first one, and it's basically just a golf ball in a banana shape. But yeah, that one's very basic. Not much to it. Didn't take a whole lot of time to do it, but I felt when I did that, I was like, man, that's really good. And as I progressed, I'm like, man, that's not my best work, but I like the shirt. It's cool. You know,
Yeah,
it's got a
yeah.
cool, but it's just you're always your own worst critic, you know. So
Of course, man. Like I remember, like a while. Well, we've been at this 2.5 years now. Episode 129 is I think where we're at, which is pretty cool. We go once a week. So, when I built this logo, I was like, oh, this logo is so cool. And I look at it now, I'm like, God, it sucks, but everybody likes it. Everybody I talk to, they're always like, hey, that's so cool. And it's sort of hard to change it now, right? So I do a couple things, tweak a couple things here and there, but it's pretty much a golf ball with headphones. What else do you need, right? So
it's
kinda,
cool. I like it. I think it's a cool design.
it makes sense. It makes sense, and it there's nobody else out there with one like it, so it kind of does the trick, right? But you're from Kansas, right?
Yep.
So
Yep, born and raised.
nice, man. So fresh off a Jayhawks win, they won. So we're a year, 2022, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Last
man.
year they won. They didn't do great this year in the tournament, but
No, this was
that's
a
my
bit of,
team, man.
yeah, this was a bit of I get like it was a bit of a strange year, and I guess like if you're from Kansas, like it must be. Is basketball just crazy there? Like, is it just like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's gotta be,
yeah. I
right?
mean, that's our NBA. We
Yeah,
don't have a team, so
yeah.
basketball season's college basketball.
Well, I guess too, because like Kansas almost like they're always rumored to like get. They've got an East Coast Hockey League team, I believe. Kansas. Can't remember what it is. It's escaped me right now. But they're always kind of like rumored when there's going to be like a new sports team kind of coming in, and it's like the Jayhawks just like take it over, right? It must be like just absolutely
Mhm.
massive. But and obviously the Chiefs. Like, so are you? You know, part of my geography here. I'm up in Toronto, so
Mhm.
Kansas City is it like I guess the capital? We call it the capital here.
It-
So
no, it's not the capital. And Kansas City is like split up between Kansas and Missouri. A lot of
okay,
people
yeah,
don't know that. So
yeah,
uh, all the pro sports teams are on the Missouri side, and like Speedway's on the Kansas side. So
got you.
it's kind of mixed up. It's a good mixture. Uh,
It's still pretty
there's
accessible to you though. Like you can,
oh yeah,
yeah,
state line for me is like 15 minutes away. I live a little bit south of Kansas City in the suburbs, but
yeah.
uh, you know, get to Missouri really quick.
That's
So
so nice. Like I'm pretty close to Toronto, but if you want to go to any like other major city in Canada here, like you're getting on a plane. It's so big, man. Like,
yeah.
even to go to like Ottawa, it's our nation's capital up here, where like the next NHL team and stuff is. It's 3.5, 4 hours. It's like there's
Oh
nothing
wow,
close. We're closer to go to Buffalo. Buffalo's only 2 hours from where we are, which is all right. But
that's crazy.
so Kansas, you got like Gary Woodland. I know Gary
Yeah,
Woodland's from Kansas. Harry Higgs is from
yeah.
Kansas too, I think, right?
I'm not
I
for sure on that one.
I think Harry Higgs, and I think Hale Irwin was too. Those were the ones that I was like,
Tom
oh, Tom
Watson.
Watson, Tom Watson. I
Yeah,
knew that Tom Watson was. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because they
yeah. I'm a big
literally
Tom
just said
Watson
that the other
fan.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He
yeah,
does a lot in the community. He's he's really embedded in Kansas City, so that's cool.
so what got you into golf? Obviously, watching Tom Watson and whatnot, but I remember seeing that like just the other day at Augusta. They were like from Kansas, Tom Watson. So I was like, damn,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. That's cool. But and then I forgot it by now. But I knew Gary Woodland was from the area. So
yeah. I
is it
think he went to
just
KU too. So
yeah?
yeah.
Was it just kind of checking out some of those guys and
Uh,
just is that what got you into
no,
the
not
game?
really. Growing up, I mean, golf wasn't really something I ever pursued. As I got a little bit older, I got invited to a 4-man scramble one time, and from then I was just hooked. I mean,
Yeah.
one good shot. I played like crap. Obviously, it's my first time playing, but I had one good shot. It was just like, okay, now this is addiction. So out with friends, a couple times a month, just playing, and it just grew from there. So
I love it, man. Like as soon as like I've been playing since I was a kid, but even so up here, the weather's not great. Like my course opens up tomorrow, Friday, when this
oh
goes out.
wow,
So there's been a couple courses open for a couple weeks and stuff right now, but it's been a long winter for us. And then all of a sudden it's like today it's like 30 degrees Celsius. So that's like shit, man. That's like 90 Fahrenheit. It's like warm up. It gets hot up here fast. So
yeah.
we might not have got up to 90, but I think it was like mid 80s by midday. And I'm just turning the air conditioner on for the first time. It's like right away, it's got to come on. But it's so great, man. It's so great when that season changes and we can get out and golf up here. It's just kind of like a free for all, like an absolute addiction, the perfect drug, like you were saying. Like you just got to get out there and enjoy it. I absolutely love it, man. Like I can play golf with anybody. Like I can just like meet anybody. Brycer's the same way. Like we have kind of different games, but it's so much fun. You just kind of get out and connect with different people. And I think what we've seen in the last couple of years, kind of like static, is like a shift almost in the game. And it's like golf has welcomed so many more people, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Are you trying to like capture a certain audience, Jason? Is there like, something that, a community that you want to connect with when you're kind of focusing on building the brand or even just like each piece that you're releasing?
Yeah. So, I mean, my target audience is more the blue collar worker. Um, I try to make the apparel affordable. There's like a gap. So there's the shirts you can buy on Etsy that are like basic, plain, been around forever, and then it goes to like $40 for a t-shirt. I just wanted to hit that gap in between and
Yeah.
give people an opportunity that get the stuff, at a reasonable price, quality apparel that they can wear and enjoy. And it's not the same old mill, the run stuff. Uh,
So are you basing like all your different pieces off different designs on like a certain type of like on a certain type of polo or a t-shirt, or are you trying to create like just a whole new piece, like a new polo with a new logo, cuz there's so many, like you've got to have dozens of logos by now, but or like I guess images on the on the clothes, right? So are you trying to like create a new piece each time, or are you trying to like, are you finding that people really like, like they like this logo, so I'm going to put on a polo, a hat or whatever it is, right?
yeah, I do a little bit of both. There's some designs that people just love, um, that I try to add into other items, give those people an opportunity to get those. But I do make a lot of new designs. I have a ton just sitting on my computer, just waiting. I also like to kind of do a basic design of something and I'll put it out on Instagram or whatever and ask people to help with like the tagline of it. Like the sod and turf hat I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
That was one. The golf tape stuff that just dropped. That was another one. I just put it out there and I let them pick. Then I let the people choose what the tagline is on it, which is kind of cool, So get involvement from what people want and it just kind of gets a community together.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pimento cheese sandwich here. So a couple weeks ago we had Bob Weeks. So Bob Weeks is like the Canadian Jim Nance. Like he was on the
Yeah.
pod, and he's kind of like our guy. When you turn on TSN up here, like Bob Weeks is like our TSN. He's our golf reporter. He's been doing it forever. Used to be with Score Golf, which was huge up here. And each year he goes down to Augusta and he chats with us the night before he flies out every year. I think this is the third or fourth year now, which is really awesome of him to make time right before he flies out. But him and Graham Dillette, who's a Canadian PGA pro from, well, he's used to be on PGA Tour. They have an egg salad sandwich. They don't do the pimento cheese, but I saw that one. I like that logo. They do like an egg salad sandwich eat off, man. It's pretty cool, and people get pretty jacked up for the Masters. It's obviously like I did that green jacket painting, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. You had a couple things come out, like the Amen corner. So is that one on a T-shirt? That one that came out, Stop and Smell the Flowers?
No,
No,
that's just a design I had made and just kind of posted out there. Maybe next year it might come out. I don't know. I haven't really decided.
I
Sometimes
like
I
it, man.
just play around with some stuff and just put it out, just kind of see what the vibe is.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going through a couple, and so anybody who wants to check out Static Golf, Static Golf Company, it's Static Golf Company at Static Golf Company over on Instagram, right?
Yep.
And of course, links in the show notes below. You can just go down and check it out. I'm looking at a live look at the Static Golf corporate office during the Masters. That one's pretty cool, man. I like that. Do you like kind of like working in some of that vintage stuff? It looks like it looks like you got a piece of like some of the vintage colors, some of the vintage like imagery and stuff like that, and you work it in with like a kind of like a modern apparel. Is that sort of am I getting that right vibe?
Yeah, definitely like the vintage, the black and white, the old advertisements that were kind of a little silly and stuff. I love that. Just that whole era.
Mac here for BioSteel. We absolutely love this one on the pod. The hydration mix has been in our golf bags forever. The hydration mix has been designed in the most natural way possible to help you stay hydrated throughout your round of golf. Zero sugar formula is made from clean, quality ingredients and contains no artificial flavors and colors, added vitamins and minerals to help support overall good health, normal function of your golf swing, and your immune system. Simply mix it into some water and you can enjoy it through all 18 holes. Clean, healthy hydration. Zero sugar, natural health product, no artificial flavors or colors, no artificial sweeteners, no preservatives, caffeine free, NSF certified for sport. Biosteel.ca, biosteel.com. Use the promo code SCREWS30 for 30% off your order. SCREWS30 for 30% off your order. Stay hydrated, my friends. Man, I just
Nostalgia.
yeah, I think like if anybody, like if you're listening at this point, like you got to go over and check out the Instagram page. I'm kind of like during our conversation, I'm sort of getting lost as I look at it here. Like I'm looking at I don't know. I'm looking at Rocky Balboa like running through here, and he's obviously you've somehow shopped your, which is pretty
Yeah,
elite level skills in behind his one arm. I like that, but it's cool, man. I like the grapes with the golf balls. I like that. Like there's so many.
yeah,
It's just something that Jason, you just like just a creative mind just kind of puts it. You grab an image and you put your own spin on it.
yeah. I'll scour. I just like be scrolling on whatever, and I'll see something. I'll be like, "Oh, this would be cool." To transform it kind of into a golf theme or whatever. Uh, I just like the whole not taking it so serious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a pro. I go out to have fun. It's a release for me. Kind of like the creative side of things. So I just kind of mix that together, and I want it to be fun, laid back, chill brain.
Man, this Pin Seekers duck hunt one is so cool. That's so cool. I love it. You gotta I feel like you got thousands in the bank there just on like
I
a
got so much
couple
stuff.
terabytes worth of logos. Have you ever been
Yeah.
Jason, you ever been like kind of wander around checking out a course, whatever it is, and seen somebody in your gear?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
That is one of like the biggest things. I'm waiting for that to happen. That's going to be a really cool moment. I might probably go up and give the person a hug.
So we got to see that
So,
staticgolf.com. You got to go check it out. If we got any listeners up here, you ever traveling up here? We got quite a few down in the States too. It's about 70-30 split down between with our listeners. So
it's,
got to go check out Static Golf. Some of these items are really cool. Can we talk a little bit about the lineup that you have going right now? Like I know it's deep, I know it's extensive, but can we talk about some of the items that you've got in the lineup currently?
yeah, I some of the new stuff that's dropped. I just dropped the golf tapes, shirts this week. Restocked the sod and turf hats. These sell out really quick, but I just got to restock on those. I did a 2.0 version last week. I've got some other things that are coming up. I don't know if you scroll through there, you see the little golf people. It says golf. I made it as a kid shirt. I had a bunch of requests to make it for adults. I'm going to go ahead and drop that this week. Um, just a whole bunch of designs on there, man. There's something for everybody, I think.
Yeah, like I like the one of the things that caught my eye originally was like just the Bones logo. So I was just trying to grab the name of it. And it's just like a very like simplistic, like standard, like it is a Bones logo. It kind of is what you're imagining as I'm saying it right now. Is kind of how it looks, which is really cool. And then like you get the breakfast balls tee like right below it. And it's just like all colorful, a bagel, like it's just perfect,
Yeah.
man. And then the airmail hat is like gotta be one of my favorites. That thing is so cool. It's obviously like synonymous with like the U.S. Postal Service or Postal
Yeah.
Department, and it's just like it makes so much sense. Do you kind of like as you're like the creator behind all of these?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Everything is came from my brain. So
What do you got? Just like a note in your phone? You got an iPhone with notes in there, and you just got like a million?
I have, yeah, notes and pictures and just everything. I mean, my phone camera is always full. I have to go in there and delete stuff because I write something down. I'll take a picture of it so I don't lose it.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just stuff everywhere.
I'm the same way, man. It's always like your iPhone is now full, and then I like get whatever the next thing is, the next bit of cloud that I need to get, and then by a month later, that's full. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
understand it, but it's the same thing, man. I'm like constantly like, putting stuff in there for the pod. There's photos in there, videos, reels, all of that stuff, and yeah, my phone is just maxed. I got to figure that out. But Jason, up until now, do you have a design that you like the most that has been kind of like you know, just something that like really caught your eye, something that you really like designing or had some sentimental, kind of value or just even that you just really enjoyed putting together?
Well, if you look on there, the Swing Freely shirts, it's a simple design, but that's one of my favorites. It's got there's some funny stories to that. Got in a little shenanigans with golf course wearing it at one time. So, with me and the buddies, it's pretty funny. So that one means a lot to me just from the story behind, wearing it out. And then I really like like I said, the sod and turf and the golf tape, just because I had other people help out on those through Instagram. That was cool to connect with people and get, it wasn't just me, it was a collaboration to make it. So those are probably my three favorite.
Yeah, I'm like, the Rolling Stones one's really cool too with the static pin in it. That is so cool, man. I could just sit there and look at these. Like this is probably the third time in 5 minutes I've said it, but if you haven't gone and checked out at Static Golf Company over on Instagram, you should. You'll just get lost kind of going through it. It's really cool. There is so many really cool logos. This is wild, man. Do you have anything that you're you said you got a lot in the I guess the bank. Is there, do you try and do like a quarterly drop, or are you just dropping at like the start of the season? How do you kind of plan your next move?
Well, it's very random.
Okay.
Just when I get the urge, like if I get really excited, I'm one of those people that I get obsessive, excited about something, and I'll drop it. It would be hard for me to wait.
Yeah.
There is some stuff, that I'm like, okay, well, this is more of a fall season. I'll wait to drop it, but everything's very sporadic that I drop. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
I feel like once you have it and like once you've been kind of working on it, it would be really, really difficult to hold on to it. Like, especially if yeah, this is like a fall golf kind of thing. Like, this is something that I got to drop, like, in the winter or whatever it is. That would be so hard to hold on to something like that. But I guess obviously it kind of makes more sense. There's a couple things I've thought about. We did merch a little bit, and like hats off to you guys who do merch because it's an absolute beast. We just did like a direct drop shipping. There is so much to it. The back end of it is absolutely crazy. There's a ton of work. So anybody who is, kind of shipping you stuff, if it takes a couple extra days, if you're listening to this pod right now, take it easy. Give them a second, because it's not easy, man. What you guys are doing is not easy at all.
Yeah, I actually make everything too, which is kind of cool. It's like, I put it on there. I make the design, put it on there, and then, I always write a note too and everything I send out. And it's just kind of that personal touch, like a piece of me goes out with everyone, which I think is really cool. And it, just seeing somebody that posts something like, "Hey, I loved the shirt I got. Man, the hat was cool. Maybe smile, whatever." That's just the best feeling in the world when somebody does that, because you've worked the whole process through.
So you do all of it yourself?
All of it, yeah.
Damn. Okay. So is it? Are you? All right, so that opens up like just a new door now that we need to discuss. So when you take like an order in, do you have like are you building an inventory, or are you doing it as the orders come in?
I do a little bit of both.
Okay.
I have an inventory of some stuff that sells pretty frequently, already made up, ready to go. Some other stuff, I kind of make it as it comes along. Just kind of depends on what the design is. But yeah, like all the polos are made up and everything prior to. I make all those up when they come in. But yeah, some of the hats and stuff I'll make at the time of purchase.
So when you're kind of designing it, you've gotten a good idea over like the last couple of years of your products that kind of come in, they sell a little bit quicker, but that's got to be cool when you see like an order come in and you're maybe you're kind of putting it together for that client or whatever it may be. Is it like, that's got to be one of the most rewarding experiences? Like, absolutely. It would be for me for sure. Are you thinking like when they kind of place the order and it comes in, are you thinking of like a certain amount of orders that you might have? Are you trying to like guesstimate that, or are you just, kind of going with it and building them as they come?
I kind of do a little bit, after like the first week, I kind of know how quick stuff's going to sell. So I'll have a little bit better idea. But
I guess like a pre-order is almost like what I'm trying to say. Like, do you do like a pre-order to try and get an idea
I don't
of how
do
many?
a whole lot. Like on some limited drop stuff, I'll do a pre-order that I'm not going to keep in stock.
Yeah.
It's just a one-time deal. But most of the stuff that's on there, I have a pretty good idea of how much stuff sells out. And it's not hard for me to get more to make, so when I get a little low on inventory, I'll just add to it.
And you just like, do you do like any, like, do you do like screen pressing, embroidery? Do you have like a preferred method that you like to do?
Right now I do screen print transfers on the shirts and the hats and stuff. It seems to work out pretty good. It's easy. It's convenient. I can keep the transfers and the shirts, so I don't have a bunch of excessive stuff on hand. But yeah, it works well. Some of the stuff that's embroidered, I take it down to an embroidery shop. I don't do that, but everything else.
Yeah. Well, it's cool too, because you can like connect with other people kind of in the industry and in the community and stuff to be able to do that, right? I like to hear that stuff when like, brands are kind of collaborating on things to sort of make it work, and designs, like if you're getting people like help you with designs, or kind of the digitization of building a design is fascinating to me, and how you take it from a mental image to paper or whatever it may be, if it's a drawing, and then you transfer that to the computer is that is just over my head, but it's definitely something that I want to learn because it's pretty cool. I'll spend hours there just like trying to design certain things and whatnot, but it's like you've either got that creative ability or you don't, and I don't quite have it yet, but I'm working on it. I'm trying, man, because it's fun. It's like you can get lost in it for sure.
Well, with my limited knowledge, I'll help you with whatever I can, man, for sure.
I
I'm all
appre-
about helping out.
I
That's
appreciate
one
that,
thing
man.
too. I love the golf community on Instagram too. It's such a supportive and just like a tight knit bond too, which is super cool. People reach out all the time. Hey, I love your stuff. Love yours too. It's just a cool
Yeah.
camaraderie
Yeah,
everybody
man.
has.
We've got a cool bunch. We've got a cool, like, we're never hurting to kind of have a conversation. And it's been so much fun. Like, each week, usually one or two more people reach out throughout the week and say, like, hey, love to come on for a chat, or I'll just send a quick message. And it's like, it's cool, man. It's really cool to have
Yeah.
that, just that camaraderie, like you're saying, and that it's not like a competition, right? Like there's lots of
Yeah.
people, and if they like your stuff, they might be, not interested in another brand or whatever, right? But that doesn't mean that what they're creating and their, all of their quality and that their work that they're putting out isn't good, because it'll catch somebody else's eye, right? So that's
I mean, I have tons of other brand stuff in my closet, that I like,
yeah.
and it's cool. It's not, this is my, I guess, side hustle. So,
Yeah.
it's, I want it to grow. I want it to do good and all that. But, I also want to help out other people. That's the way that things grow and get better and change. So,
Are you putting a lot of hours in on this right now? You can be honest, man. I got an idea that you're putting in quite a few hours.
yeah, I mean, my wife could probably attest to it.
Yeah.
I try to get up I go to work early in the morning. So I usually get up around 4 o'clock. I work a little bit on it then. And then when I get home at 4, 5 o'clock, I work for a couple hours, and then sporadically off and on my phone or whatever. So yeah, it's a full-time job on top of a full-time job, but
Yeah.
I love it. So, it doesn't ever seem like work to me. It's fun, and it's just an outlet.
Yeah, man, that's kind of how I've been with the pod. Like, it's just kind of like it's an outlet. It's fun. I get to talk to new people,
Yeah.
meet new people, and like we kind of started up like right at maybe the start of the pandemic, and it was a way that like when everything was kind of shutting down, we get to meet new people and work on those skills. Like just continue to have conversations, and then here we are, kind of 2.5 hours later, or 2.5 hours, 2.5 years later, still doing it, man. Every Friday we usually we get one out at least every Friday. Sometimes we'll double up on major weeks and stuff like that, where people are really into golf for that week, or something else just pops up that we want to do. But it's fun, man. It's fun. We get to learn with all the different brands, players, club fitters. It's really cool, man. The community is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I definitely been checking your pod out. I like it a lot. You got some cool guests on there. I like how you kind of keep the more low key people in the industry. I love hearing their story and just like their passion and their just the build up and everything. It's great.
Yeah, buddy.
So
That's
I really
how
hope
it.
you
That's
guys are
how it
doing.
is, and that's how it. As far as I know, that's how it always will be. That's kind of like we found our niche and what we really like, and it's like really cool to like get a pro that's on like the Epson tour, or
Mhm.
playing on, like we had Craig a couple weeks ago on the Challenge Tour, like over in the UK, and like PGA Tour LA, PGA Tour Canada up here, and it's kind of cool to like hear those stories and the grind that players are kind of
Yeah.
going through, and then all the brands, everybody's got a little different idea or why they created Static Golf or whatever the other name is, or whatever the other brand is. And then club fitters and stuff like that are people who like specialize in that kind of stuff. It's really fascinating to see. And then we've had brands like Haywood Golf and stuff like that, right? So it's
Mhm.
they're a good Canadian brand. Josh was a like really really hard worker. They're pushing out like 200 orders a week or something like that, he said now, which is awesome to hear, right? So it's kind of cool. And it's kind of cool to feel like we get a little part of that in our community. We're all pretty close, I guess, at this level or whatever it may be, right? It's a lot of fun, man. So I appreciate you and anybody else checking out the pod. It's fun, man. It's just so much fun. We can we get an idea before we let you go, Jason, just of anything that we might see coming up in the future?
I got some polos in the work, a couple new ones for summer. High crown visors. I get asked a lot about that. I'm working on that. If anybody knows a good company that makes some, they could maybe point me in the right direction, hit me up. But that's definitely a couple things I'm working on in the near future coming out. So.
Yeah, we'll see if we got a couple there. I got that Birds of Condor one. I got that one. So it's a bit of a high crown. There's a couple around there. You got to reach out to like Bo Hostler or Keith Mitchell or something to find out where those guys get those things done, because they're sort of synonymous with those two guys on tour right now. But Jason, this was awesome, man. Really appreciate you coming on, having a chat, sharing kind of a little bit about the brand and where it's going, where it came from. It's really cool to hear the story. We'd love to have you back. We always like to loop back a few months down the road, or 6 months or something like that, when you've released a few more things, and you know, shoot the shit, talk about some golf, and see what's coming up too, man.
Yeah, I really truly appreciate you having me on here. This was really fun. It's just like hanging out, you know. That's back to the whole community thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Like we've known each other for a long time.
I know, man. I know, that's the best part. You have like a half an hour, 45-minute conversation with somebody, and then it's like, yeah, you kind of know them, man. You learn so much about it. But at Static Golf Company. So if you are listening in the car, on Apple, Spotify, wherever you are listening, when you stop, scroll down. The Instagram handle's there. The website's there too. Go over and have a look. I know you do 15% for any new people who come and join up, which is pretty awesome. So, and then you ship up north of the border here too?
Yeah, I'll ship anywhere. I do offer free shipping to the U.S. So
perfect.
Anywhere outside of that, I do charge shipping, but that's just to keep my prices where they are. So.
Yeah, of course, man. And the prices are very reasonable. So if you can, go over and check out Static Golf. They're pretty cool. Even just scroll through the Instagram feed right now, because it's pretty awesome. Thanks, Jason. This was so great, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
He's out in my ball in the course, so I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross, worst case scenario.